is eating squash, but it's squash, and I roasted it with salt and pepper. It basically just tastes like French fries. The problem is I put a lot of black pepper on it.
I hear the call.
Because when I made it for meat yard, so it's got a bunch of pepper. And now, very peppery. If I was making it for me, I'd probably make less. I'd put less pepper on it. So next time I'll put. I didn't think I would like it. So I was making it just for meat yard. That's why I put so much pepper on it. Listen here, Anne Marie, I'm eating a squash. Okay?
I play to win.
Yeah, I'll like the next one I make. Like I said, I surprisingly like this one more than I thought I would. I'm literally eating squash. I don't want to be judged. I use the whole squash. So I cut it into like little rings and then scooped out the seeds. So see how it's like, this is like half of a little ring. So I just cut it into rings and then scoop the seeds. And then I brushed it with olive oil and then put a bunch of salt and pepper on it. Not a bunch, but you know, and then roasted it in the air fryer. But I put too much pepper on it for my own liking. Here's another piece. See, it's the squish. It's the delicata squash. Right now, TJ, would you have imagined if I said I was eating squash and I liked it? Would you have believed?
The hunt is on.
Squash is a root vegetable? What? Squash, this one. It literally, this guy. This is what I'm eating. This. Like this. That's how I did it. Is how I did it. Mine looks like that as well. Is it good? I don't like pumpkin. See, I don't actually like pumpkin. But it doesn't taste anything like pumpkin. It tastes like a potat. It tastes like a French fry.
It is time.
Okay. Our team's okay. I like it. I'm a little worried about the Nizebo, but I'm always a little worried about a Nizebo. Nah, I'm with Chris though. Pumpkin's gross. I keep cans of pumpkin though for the dogs if their stomachs get upset.
Battle stations.
I finished my squash.
I smell.
Greetings, friend.
Come. We have a battle to win.
I gotta finish eating my squash before the battle starts. Just normal things.
Launching in T-minus 10 seconds. 5.
Oh man, I wish I had cheesecake. Oh my god.
1. Commence combat operations.
Can you imagine Radio having the gout? Can you imagine Radio Suicide having the gout? Oh my god. I've known people to have the gout. It's not a joke. And then did you have gout for life? Like you can always get it again? Like once you've had gout, you've got the gout? Like flare-ups and shit.
Nicely done.
I haven't heard of a Wonder Bar. I've heard of Wonder Balls, though. The Wonder Ball, it was the chocolate ball, and it had, like, toys inside of it, and they had that great jingle where they're like, what's in a Wonder Ball? What? What's in a Wonder Ball? What wonderful candy surprises a Wonder Ball can hide? Oh, what's in a Wonder Ball? I remember those. Too much meat, too much alcohol, right? Too much meat, too much alcohol, not enough vegetables. Isn't that how you get the gout? Drinking and eating steak. Sounds wonderful. They're a little different than Kinder Eggs, though, because there's the chocolate, and then there's like a plastic ball on the inside, and that's the Wonder Ball. Oh, he's super dead. Dang. She might also be. Now she's alive. Because aren't Kinder Eggs illegal in the US? Or we have our own dumb version of the Kinder Egg? Something like that. But it's definitely not called a Kinder Egg. It was called a Wonder Ball. It had a great commercial. Played on Nickelodeon all the time. That's why I remember the Wonder Ball commercial so much. What's in a Wonder Ball? Hell yeah, penguins wearing hats. I'm not the only one who remembers the Wonder Ball jingle.
Select attack.
Thank you. Shared childhood. It's okay that Barb never had a Wonder Ball. I actually never had a Wonder Ball in real life. I just remember the jingle because I heard it on TV all the time. I don't actually know where one would acquire a Wonder Ball.
And now I make my exit.
I thought it had like, God, I don't remember what goes in a Wonder Ball. If I remember from the commercial, I thought it had like, it was a chocolate ball, and then it had the plastic thing on the inside. When you opened it, it had like a sticker, some like little candy, like nerds candy, and then like maybe a toy or something. I don't know. Like I said, I never actually had a Wonder Ball. I just saw their commercials all the time. Yeah, that's actually good that we got out her mech explosion. Now she won't have it if we try to turn in or anything. Like she got no value out of it, so that is really good. Dude, I remember Skip It. Skip It was like this thing that I actually had to skip it. So it was like a plastic ball on a plastic string, and then it had a circle, and it went around your ankle, and it was all like stiff plastic, and it went around your ankle, and you would use it like a ball and chain, and you would use it basically to self-jump rope. It's if you were lonely but you still wanted to jump rope, you'd have a fucking Skip It, right? And the Skip It was like a torture device. Like you'd hit yourself in the ankle with it, or like trip over it and stuff. Like terrible. But it was like a year ago, I want to say now. Meatyard and I were out playing Pokemon Go, and we were at this park, and there was a little girl, and she had a Skip It. And number one, Skip It still exists, apparently. But number two, she was wearing high-heeled boots. And I told Meatyard, I'm like, you can't wear high heels with the Skip It. Like, you can't do it. You're gonna break your ankle. And he's like, you can't say that. And I'm like, I'm not saying anything. It's like, you can't, you're gonna die. Like, what are you doing? And then she ended up tripping and falling And then she was crying, and her parents like had to carry her away because she tripped trying to skip it in heels. Like, bitch, I told you. I mean, I didn't actually tell her though, but like I thought it. When did she die? No.
Let's see what you've got.
Okay, yes, you can jump rope solo, but I meant like the people who did like double dutch and stuff, like who are into the jump roping. And then the skip it was the next thing. Hydrate, that's a good idea. I ate my squash. I ate the squash. Look at me. Eating a squash. I really didn't think I would like it. That's why I peppered it so heavily, because I figured only Meatyard would eat it, and he likes pepper and shit, like, I don't know. But, it's fine. Alright, hydrate. It was a good hydrate. I feel hydrated. The moisture. I remember with the skip it and then the Razor scooter. You know the Razor scooter, where I would try to do the thing where you'd jump and you'd spin the scooter around and then you'd land on it, and like every third one of those I'd hit myself right in the fucking ankle and it would hurt really bad. And then the skip it as well. I hit myself in the ankle so many times with the fucking skip it. It's just not good. I'm gonna take just Ancestral. This isn't a Bloodlust comp, and even if it was, I don't think these are Bloodlust teammates. They're not ready to lust, you know what I mean? They don't have it in their hearts. Sorry, Liam. High five. Listen, I'm playing the video game as well. It's not always instant, okay? Fucking slow your roll. I'm trying.
Nicely done, my friend.
Shatter their
That hero
constructs.
must be
Bring the gems to my altar before your enemies.
So I found out something about Europeans on Reddit. So I was reading a story on Reddit, and it was about this kid who they were in class and they were supposed to put book covers on their books, and he didn't do it, so they took his book away. That's the whole story. But like their math book, they were supposed to, you know, like with like the paper bags or whatever. So all of the Europeans were like, why would you put a book cover on a book? What does that even mean? What are you even talking about? Apparently EU, they don't do that, where you like use like a paper bag to make a book cover. But I want to further that with one. Do you remember the rich kids who had those like stretchy spandex book covers, and they didn't have to use a plebeian plastic or a paper bag, and they had like the stretchy colorful ones, and they were just the coolest? I remember being so jealous of one girl who had like hot pink stretchy book covers, and I was like with my paper bag ass cover, just like feels bad, man. Right, so I guess this was the consensus from Reddit. In America, we keep our textbooks forever. They're literally like 30-year-old textbooks in elementary schools. So they have to do weird shit like cover them in paper bags to make them last longer, to keep them from getting like scratched or written on, or to keep the edges from becoming dog-eared. Yeah, it was mandatory in the school I went to. Like, you had to cover your book with a paper bag or they would fight you. Like, and in the story in Reddit, it was the same thing, to the point where the teacher actually took his textbook away, and then he just didn't have a textbook. And he failed an assignment because he didn't have the book, and they took the book because he didn't put the paper on the book.
We have terminated a fort.
Yeah, so then when you had your brown paper bag book cover, then you would write and draw all over it, right? And who else did the, you know what I'm talking about when I say the S, right? But for me, I would take the S and I would make really long chains out of them, and I'd do like tons and tons of chains, and it would be this whole like forever pattern of chains of the S over all of my books in like different colors and sizes and thickness. Yeah.
You are too late. Now you will know my wrath.
Yeah, no, the coolest kids in my school had like stretchy spandex ones. They were like cloth, like spandex, and they would stretch over the book. And some of them were solid colors, or some had like sick patterns and designs, and they were like really cool. And you'd buy them at Target. And who shops at Target? Rich kids.
Our fort has suffered irreparable damage.
The S where you like make 3 lines and 3 lines, and then you connect them, and then usually you do a point at the top and bottom. But you can keep making them and keep connecting them into like a sick chain. You know what I'm talking. The S, yeah, you all know what the S is. We're coming in from the backside here. Here we go, team. Rah 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 rah, Joanna. Oh, never mind. What's up, Maddie B? How are you doing? We're losing some video games. How are you? It's basically the losing stream, by the way. What's up?
It is over.
Oh God, I wish we were winners here, but no, 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 no. We've lost a lot of games in the last 2 days. It's bad luck.
Bring them. Bring me their power.
I guess rich kids would have been in like a private school of some kind. So this is like public school rich kids. Yeah. Whoever had to forge their parents' signature on like an assignment or on like a report card, and you thought you did like a really good job of it, but now looking back, it was probably hilariously bad, but your teachers accepted it because they didn't give a shit either. I can remember vividly one thing that I signed, and I know now it was probably so incredibly bad, but like that teacher didn't give a fuck, so it's like whatever. I talked to Mockery earlier today. He's doing alright. The viewers were, yeah, it's for the fans. All the losing is for the fans.
Enemy fort eliminated.
We have done well here.
I didn't really need to Ancestral that, but like it's cool. Look, we're pushing, team. Look how good we're doing. Look at us go.
Blessings upon you.
It's like that in the US for like college, but for elementary school, middle school especially, also high school, the school provides the books, and the books are like older than the students. So to make them last longer before they have to replace them, they do weird shit like that where you have to cover them in paper and stuff.
Status update. Keep eliminated.
Nicely done.
A reprieve.
And then when you get to college, you have to buy your own books. Yeah, they're like $300 a book. So like, fuck you. What's up, Jimmy Klein? Bringing in the Hootin' Dugans. How you doing?
The clutch is ready to form again. Return the gems to me.
So what it was where I forged my parents' signature too that I remember so vividly was we had a planner, like a day planner, and all of our assignments and like what we were doing in class and everything was in this fucking planner. And then every week, you had to get your week's shit on the planner signed off by a parent that they knew what you were doing, and I don't know. They needed to know what all the week's lesson plans, the week's homework, and this plan. They needed to be aware. And
My wounds
I didn't get my planner signed, y'all. Fucking planner signed.
taken out.
Okay, I'm good. Ah. Ah!
That was good.
Hacks. I heard that. Is streamer still anti-Rud? No, I think we're pro-Rud.
Thank you.
After Ant-Man, we shifted to a pro-Rud society
We'll be back. Count on it.
because he was so delightful in Ant-Man, and then Ant-Man 2, and then The Avengers. It's delightful. So we shifted to a pro-Rud world
Regrow.
after Ant-Man.
The gems. I feel their power.
This might be where we win, though. This might be where we win.
Come to me.
I didn't care for him before that. You know what movie I thought of before Ant-Man when I thought of Paul Rudd? That one movie with Steve Carell where Steve Carell's the idiot and Paul Rudd wants to bring him to the idiot dinner. That's the first movie I think of when I think of Paul Rudd, and I didn't like that movie. I wanted to go heal her before the end, but look, we won. I'm not saying I've seen him in other movies and he was in other movies, but that's the first one that pops in my head when I think of Paul Rudd. I don't even remember the name of it.
MVP.
And I didn't like the movie or Paul Rudd's character in it, so you know, I had some anti-Rudd feelings. Nizubo has always loved Paul Rudd, probably. Okay, I want to go. What's that? What's we're on Tomb of the Spider Queen.